Good morning and welcome to the Unlikely Pilgrims Snapshot of Faith from Brisbane. I'm back. I've been so excited to be home this week and heading out to all of my favourite spots and hanging out with all of my favourite people, and it's inspired me to talk to you this week about home, about about that sense of home, that feeling of home. And hi Nikki, hi Mum, how you going? Mum, I'll be home in about 2. And that feeling of being home and what that feeling means to you. And is home to you a house? Is it your parents' house? Is it a town? If you're an expat, Puggy to the Dylans, right back at you. Is it you're living abroad and home is your country? Is it people? Is your husband your home? Are your children your home? To me, home is a feeling. It's a feeling of warmth. It's a feeling of safety. It's a feeling of familiar surrounds, and it's that sense of belonging. I'm from here. This is me. I'm home. And I've lived, in different places around the country and around the world, and certainly, hi Mitch, how you going? Certainly, I've had that sense of home in different places. So when I lived in Melbourne, I felt like that was home. When I was living in Bali for the last 12 months, I had that feeling of home. And certainly when I lived in the UK, those last few years, I really felt connected to the UK and to the people there, and I felt like that was home as well. But when I come back to Brisbane and I see those familiar sights, there's nothing like it. Brisbane is home. Brisbane is the place where I'm from, where I feel like I belong the most. And I've been having these feelings of that, or triggers of that all week. Dad waiting for me at the airport, I'm home. Walking into Mum's place, I'm home. Yatla pies, caramello koalas, cherry ripes, Brisbane buses honking really loudly, I'm home. Sausage on bread, all of these things that fill me with that sense of home. And it got me thinking about the sort of religious sense of home. And people say that their church family is their home, their community is part of their home. Some Christians I know say, when you die, you go home to be with God. And I was thinking about that, and it made me think about the people of Aleppo, because I've been thinking about them a lot this week, and I know we all have. It's all over the news, it's all over our Facebook feeds, it's everywhere we turn. And without getting off the subject of faith, I was thinking, how horrible and how distressing it is to lose your home, to lose your community, if that's what home is to you, or your family, if that's what home is to you. And whilst I'm over here in sunny Brisbane feeling this elation of being home and this excitement of being home, there's people on the other side of the world whose homes are being destroyed, whose families are being killed, whose communities are being torn apart. And it really saddens me, and it really affects my heart and my soul that that's happening. And I know that there's horrible things that happen all over the world, and there's community struggles in every country in the world. But certainly my heart has been, with the people of Aleppo this week, and it's been making me think, we should be living our lives by the faith or the guidelines or the principles that we grew up with. And as a Christian, we're taught love thy neighbour as yourself. or do unto others as you would expect them to do unto you. And in Islam, you know, one of the pillars of Islam is almsgiving, to support the needy, to look after those less fortunate than yourselves. And also, you know, Buddhist, peace to all creatures. And I just think, you know, it absolutely blows my mind that we would be reluctant to support our neighbour, because the Syrian refugees are our neighbour and they're not at peace, and they certainly are in need. And, you know, I'm concerned that, you know, the fear or reluctance or nervousness about welcoming our home and our hearts to people who don't have a home is sad. It's horrible. And don't get me wrong, I know that there is an outpouring of support from coming from all over the world to the people of Aleppo at the moment. I've just come from Hillsong Church, and when I first started going there 3 years ago, every Hillsong church has a big sign that says welcome home when you walk in the door. G'day Matt, g'day Trina, and it says welcome home. And I love Hillsong, don't get me wrong, but when I first went there a few years ago, I thought the sign was a little bit wanky, like just a little bit. But today, when I walked into a familiar church and saw familiar faces and familiar songs, I thought, you know what? I am home and I do feel welcome. And not everybody in the world is feeling that today. And we had a offering, a specific offering today that was for the people of Aleppo, and Hillsong Church is calling for donations from all over the world, and they've partnered with World Vision and Preemptive Love, who are on the ground in Syria at the moment. And of course I gave to that, but I felt like there's just more that I could be doing. There's just more that I personally want to do, and I don't know where to start. And you know, if you know anything or you're involved in anything or something that we should be supporting, pop it in the comments, pop it on my page, inbox me, because I know, like I was talking the other day about giving and receiving, you know, people want to help. There's so many people out there that want to help. And this week, you know, that thought of homes being destroyed, lives being destroyed, it fucking kills me. And I'm a bit tired. There's just got to be something that we could be doing for these people, because I've been so confused this week about how to feel because I've got this overwhelming elation and pride and excitement about being home, about being with my family, about Christmas being just around the corner. Hopefully I get spoiled by Santa. And yet on the other side of the world, there's people who are just in such terrible, terrible situation. So I just wanted to share that with you today, because I'm confused. I'm confused about how I can help. I'm confused about what the bloody hell the governments in our day and age are doing. And, you know, everybody deserves home. Everybody deserves safety. Everybody deserves refuge. And I guess what I wanted to leave you with today is that, you know, other than home being a feeling for me, it's where the heart is. And I think that's why I felt so at home in so many different communities, because the people and the environments and the community have made me feel like home. And maybe as a community we can give, or we can get involved, or we can write a letter so that the Syrian refugees know that we're with them and we're here to support them, and maybe piece by piece we can help put back together their heart, because we're thinking of them and we're not going to stand by and just say, oh well, that's a bit shit what's happening over there, because it's just not okay. It's just absolutely not okay. And you know, the God, in whatever form you believe, preaches kindness and preaches to look after each other. And that's just what I want to share with you to do, because it's Christmas, and every day on the countdown to Christmas I'm going to try my utmost to do something for Syria, because they deserve it, just like you and I deserve to feel happy and at home wherever we are, whatever home means to us. So that's it. I'm gonna head out and do some shopping and try and think about what it is that I can do in the next 6 days to support Syria. And if you've got any suggestions, you throw them at me, because I'm in. I am all in, baby. So have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Sunday, and next week it'll be Christmas. So you'll get my Christmas special from my brother's deck in Brisbane at midday Australian Eastern Standard Time. And if you don't tune in, or you're watching the replay because you're stuffing your face, then absolutely, you know, watch the replay, and I'll be with you right there. Nikki Dillon's just said a couple of great ideas. She said write to your local MP and get them to act. Sign in Amnesty International, the Amnesty International petition. All brilliant ideas. It's not about, you know, going out to the front line, and it's not about giving up every penny that you have. Just do your best for your fellow human being, because that's what God wants us to do, and that's certainly what I'm asking you to do today. So happy Sunday, guys. Love you. God bless. Over and out.